Hi and welcome to the Fiber Art. I'm Bethany and I'm going to show you how to make a little mushroom. What you want to do is you'll have some supplies you need to get together. That would be your white or cream color roving, some red, and then also if you like to do a little bit of trim around the bottom, some brown as well. You'll also need a foam surface or a felting surface to work on, and then your felting needles. We will also put on our website a free download pattern that you can print off. It'll have step-by-step instructions of how to make this little tutorial here about the mushroom, and a diagram that you can put your piece on to make sure that it's in proportion, just as a helpful guide. You can also be creative and make them different shapes, different colors, use wool that you already have. Today I'll be using Shetland fiber for the structure part, and then I'll be coating it with wool that I've actually just dyed. So you'll want to take a portion of roving. Wool, when it's being processed, is called roving or roping depending on its thickness, and it just means wool that's being washed and carded. So in order to make the little stalk portion, I'll probably take about this much wool. And what you want to do is you'll take it and you roll it nice and tight. The tighter you roll it, the closer the fibers will be together, and the less time it's going to take to felt. So you want to take it and roll it nice and tight. What I also like to do is leave the one end fuzzy that you're going to attach to your other piece, the little circle, the dish that makes the top of the mushroom, and then I like to fold this portion in to make it nice and smooth. That way it also bulks out the bottom portion to make it more of a cone. So you just want to keep rolling that. And it doesn't have to be the right size yet, because you can just add more wool after you've felted this piece. So you'll just put this onto your work surface. You'll take your needle. The needle has little barbs on the last part of it, just on these like 2 centimeters of the last part of the needle. And you're just going to poke those in and out. That agitates the fibers and locks them in place. So you just want to keep turning and poking that. It doesn't have to be poked, deeply. It's just gentle little pokes. Keep an eye on where your fingers are, and just keep turning it and poking it. You can put it on its top and just poke the bottom fibers in, and carefully just try and drag some of those fibers in. But you want to keep the needle as straight as possible, up and down, so that you don't twist it. So this piece you can put onto your diagram, and you'll be able to see it needs just a little bit more fiber on it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some more fiber and just wrap it around the bottom there. And then again, you just keep poking this. And a lot of times people wonder, how do I know when my felting is done? And a good indicator is when the fibers aren't fuzzy and sticking out, they're all quite smooth and compact. You want your felting to be quite firm, and again, that's why we suggest wrapping it nice and tight. Initially, just creates that good core structure that helps you build from that. What I like about the mushroom kit is once you've learned these techniques, they can be used to make like any felted creature. So just keep turning it and poking it, getting all of those fibers in. And you can see it holds fairly quickly. It's really getting there. But you want to keep going on this one, probably for another 5 minutes probably would make this is smooth enough. So I'm going to move on and show you how to do the top portion of the mushroom. So just like this one, this again is just in the initial stages of it. It'll be felted a little bit more than this. But in order to do that, you're just going to take again some more of your white wool. And you're just kind of going to make a flat shape to work from. So I just wrap it around my fingers, and then I put this onto a work surface, and then you're just going to take your felting needle and poke it in and out. And once you've felted this entire surface, you're just going to flip it over and felt the other side. You can also hold 2 needles and do this, or if you have a felting tool that has a couple needles, that speeds this up a little bit. But it won't take too long to get the basic shape. And what you can do to make this square into a circle is just fold in the corners. So you're just going to take it, fold it in. That way you're just shaping what you would like to make as you would with like any other medium, like clay. You're actually just taking it and sculpting with it. So you can already see that that's forming a circle. And then you can, once this is a little bit more felted, you can just flip it over. You just pull it from your work surface, flip it over, and then you want to felt the other side until it's nice and smooth. And again, you can check this size with the diagram. And that's kind of handy to keep everything to scale. So this one's coming together nicely, but I'm going to move on and show you how to shape the mushroom into more of a dome. You're going to take the one that I've been working on a little bit earlier, and you just want to keep felting in the center part of this shape so that it compresses the fibers and pushes them down into the part that you want to be dome shaped. So you're gonna make a little, like, you know, when you're making thumbprint cookies almost, you push this one down and all those fibers start to bend. And that creates the dome shape in the mushroom. So you want to keep poking this for a little bit longer. Again, you know, a couple minutes would get the fibers nice and firm. And then again, you do this side as well till it was nice and smooth. but I'm going to show you how to put one on top of the other and felt them together. So like I was explaining to you earlier, you're going to leave one end slightly fuzzy, and that helps when you attach pieces together. And you can just kind of prise those apart a little bit to smooth them. And then when you're joining it, you have quite a few fibers to lock in place. So you're going to take your stem or your stalk that you've made, and you're going to just put the trunk of it onto your mushroom. So you just put one on top of the other, take your felting needle, and felt around the edge, securing all those fibers in. You can pick it up and move it. You really want to focus on that outer area. And that way it's nice and secure all the way around. And once it's joined to the top part, you can put your color on the top. And to do that, you're actually just going to take a very thin piece of your colored wool, and this can be any color you like. And you're just going to take little sections of it in a thin layer and put that over the top of your mushroom where you're working. And again, just poke that in. Until all the fibers are nice and smooth. You'll see on these ones that I've already made, there's a nice even smooth coat. And this is all done by those fibers interlocking around each other, compressing, and that holds it together. So there's no sewing or gluing or washing. It's all just dry felted. And the little barbs on the needle catch the fibers and entangle them around each other. And it's really a joy to work with the natural fibers and be able to sculpt with the wool. It's very easy to do, and there's not much to it. And once you finish putting the coat of red over there, you can put your little embellishments on there, your little dots. And for those, you're just going to take a tiny bit of your light colored fiber and just roll it between your fingers. I find is easiest to help kind of sort of organize the fibers and begin the felting process. And you just put that right onto the top of your felting, and you're just going to poke all those fibers in. And this is the same thing that you would do for any of the markings on the animals, like noses or eyes on felted animals. So all of these are really helpful to learn. Another thing to note is when you're felting your red onto the top of your mushroom, it's possible that some of the fibers will come through the back of your mushroom. Now if that happens, you can either just enjoy it as part of the design, or you can put another coat of white around the bottom of your mushroom. And also, if you wanted to strengthen this or smooth the transition more, you can actually wrap. This is what we recommend doing in a lot of our animals, is just wrapping this with another piece of fiber, and that just makes it nice and smooth and really makes it very secure. So you just wrap that around there and felt that in as well. What I also wanted to show you today was putting a little bit of brown around the bottom of your mushroom if you would like to do that on there. You don't have to, of course, but sometimes it's nice, a little embellishment. So these are actually locks of fiber from our sheep. They've been washed, but they still have the variations in, which is nice, the gold and the brown. So you're just going to take a little bit of that, and you would just make a thin strand of that, and you just felt it all the way around. And it doesn't need to be, even, because in nature everything is very organic, so you're just going to take little bits. Felt those on. And you can drag some of the fiber up your mushroom. So it's a very simple way to make a very effective little mushroom. These can be hung on the tree at Christmas time as ornaments. If you put a thread through them, you just go down through it and back again. Or you can actually create little sculptures and scenes by felting a little green pad to put them on. And you'd just take a section of your wool, just like you would with your like with any of these, and you just felt this, sort of like you did with this. And then you can just glue them onto, you can felt these, of course, onto the wool, but you can glue these onto little blocks of wood, and they make lovely sculptures to have around. So yeah, I think that's all there is to it, really. Be sure to download the pattern if you like, and subscribe to our YouTube channels, like our Facebook page, visit our Etsy shop. We have a number of needle felting kits that you can enjoy making. We also have a pattern that you can download for the gnome and the mushrooms, and of course the free pattern that'll be on our website. Thank you so much for joining me.